Tuesday, I published one of our ongoing photo and video tech news episode, where I made a pretty big mistake. Now, as always, I had my sources listed. No, they didn't make the same mistake, but whenever you're unsure about something I or even Nadia say during our, really fast-paced coverage, you should check them links down there for all the facts. Also, I will always appreciate anyone pointing out mistakes. It is not my intention to spread false information. With that said, let's get to it. On Tuesday, one of our main stories was about the widely popular Gnarbox 2.0. I didn't have much love for it. While NVMe is the cutting edge, it's stupid, despite it being objectively a unique product. While I tried to keep the news show non-opinionated and as straight to the point as possible, I decided to insert my own opinion about the new product, and it came out kinda mean. It's stupid. I must have been in a bad mood Friday night, because even when editing on Monday, I myself was a bit surprised. With that said, I stand by a lot of what I said, except what was factually wrong. My biggest mistake as far as I can tell was saying that the original Gnarbox had a spinning hard drive inside. I'm not sure where I got that from. Since the launch of the Gnarbox 1, I assumed it had some sort of flash memory inside, as that would make the most sense. But I guess partly due to the inclusion of the name SSD on the title of the second generation, I got confused. The first gen had what's known as an eMMC memory. It's the same stuff that's in a lot of phones and mobile devices with built-in memory. It's soldered and not removable, making my ending comment about replacing the spinning drive with a SATA drive mute. Stupid. So Tim Feess, co-founder of Gnarbox, I do apologize for that. I am actually quite ashamed. The truth is, I did not research the first generation when making this story. Again, I'm not sure why I made this assumption. That is not an excuse, just literally stating what happened. The second thing people are upset about was my opinion in general. People saying that I missed the point of the Gnarbox. That is, my criticism of the price per gigabyte as a backup device. Thank you for pointing that out, Daniel Riff, Field Sales Representative, Parker Simon, Product Manager, and Craig Cohen, hopefully not related. Good one, mate. All of whom seem to suggest that the main feature of the Gnarbox is its integration with things like Lightroom, with LumaFusion, Dropbox, their own app, etc. All of which allows you to get started on any sort of post-production / editing work you do for your photos and video while still on the go. Like I said, and perhaps did not give enough credit to last time, all of these things are really unique and cool. However, first of all, the value which you place on those editing features and abilities varies a lot. Personally, I don't think it's all that worth it when you compare the 1TB model to, say, a laptop, which is what I said in the video actually. And yes, I know it's not the same, and the Gnarbox might be more convenient for a lot of people, and for the most part, you know who you are. But for others, a laptop makes more sense. Generally, it's faster, has a bigger screen, and its uses extend way beyond just easing a little bit of your post work. I mean, it's a laptop. You get to do laptop things. In contrast, the Gnarbox is a rather specialized tool, which again, works for a lot of people, good for you. I simply said that they should have used a regular SSD instead to keep the cost down and make this more accessible to everyone. Also, this is a backup device. It is marketed as one, and a lot of people are likely to only use it as such. Tim Feess even says how backup is such an important feature during the live demo, the video published on Kickstarter.
And transferring of files. Those are the two most important. Queue up the transfer, press the copy files button here, and when you're dumping a card, transfer times. SD card transfer from a camera card onto the box. Use it to back up files. Experience for backing up SD cards and to back up all my files. I'm going to back up to the Gnarbox. Will automatically back up your backup. The progress of the backup, tell me when the backup's complete, 2 GB backup, or backing up a couple of video files. Getting an incremental backup, our backup is complete. And really the fastest backup since this is a backup device.
So, the official Gnarbox account commented, "We use NVMe because it's the industry standard and available in smaller form factors than SATA drives. Read the Kickstarter page and review the feature sets fairly next time. Thanks." I would really argue that that's an emerging standard. It's not there yet. And I would like to point out that M.2 does not equal NVMe, and you can get SATA SSDs in the really small M.2 form factor, unless you're using some sort of proprietary tech. All I was saying is they're mostly compatible, and SATA could have made this product more accessible because it's cheaper. And the fact is that while doing a single source file transfer, you would not saturate a SATA drive. Your ports just do not have enough bandwidth. Want to argue with me on this? Then why did Tim do the transfer speed demo while connected to an external SSD through a USB 3 port and get the same numbers as the internal NVMe?
The second thing I'll point your attention to is the Samsung T5 SSD. Now this is going to simulate the internal SSD on Gnarbox 2.0. We're going to use USB 3 to rig it up today. Megabytes per second reading out here, as you guys know, 70 to a maximum of about 100 megabytes is what you can expect.
I mean, come on. Let me repeat something I said earlier. I am not a fan of your product. The first gen was limited, slow transfers, not enough memory, not expandable, etc., etc. First impressions on the second gen, and even a deeper look, memory is still an issue, but you do have a product that's a lot better. I don't agree with your decision to use NVMe drives. I'd rather have it be a little bit slower in some cases, but cheaper. With that said, here are some tips for what you should be saying. When someone asks, why NVMe? Say, because transfer speeds aren't everything. Random access is vastly improved on an NVMe drive, making things much snappier. Say you wanted uncompromised performance in case anyone wanted to multitask, that is, transfer files while backing up others and transcoding yet others. Is that even possible? That would be something pretty unique to your product as well. Never mind the CPU bottleneck. Prices on the low end are not that different. Yes, say the drives are like half when comparing 1 terabyte models, which is the comparison I made, but on the low end, the price difference is a lot narrower. Say that. When people say that the 1 terabyte model is too expensive, might as well get a laptop, and that the 128 gigabyte is too small, so this is a bad backup device, stop saying backup is not the point. You're a backup device first. Everything else just falls apart without that.
Since this is a backup device that also has all of this editing functionality,
I hope you're not doing that while driving, Maddie. Instead, point out that you can back up to external drives. What the hell? There's like one line mentioned on this on your Kickstarter page. And yeah, it showed up on your demo video.
this is my destination selection screen, so if I had a hard drive connected, that would pop up here.
And mentioned on your campaign video briefly.
App to view connected drives.
But this should be one of your main points. That's a huge feature. Honestly, 1 terabyte is not enough for a backup sometimes. Having the ability to not only have several backups, but also have them be infinitely expandable through external drives, that's huge. Advertise that. Tell you what, someone confirmed to me that I can transcode stuff on the external drive without copying it over to the internal storage, and you got my money. I want to review this thing.